So he says he's not ready.
So
he says tournaments are just for people who are trying to get a name for themselves, get themselves out there, and then when they've won a lot of tournaments, they need to calm down. So there's a new interview with Denis Cyplenkov where he talks about why he doesn't do tournaments as well as his current shape and some other things. Let's go right into it because he's asked why doesn't he do tournaments anymore.
Почему ты не будешь бороться в сетке? Или будешь бороться в сетке? Когда-нибудь.
Ну, у меня есть ряд предложений, которые, наверное, если так вот здраво поразмыслить, не позволяют мне это сделать. Но если от себя сказать конкретно, то по-хорошему, я понимаю то, что в любом случае это лотерея, крепких ребят там много, и можно где-то там, грубо говоря, подскользнуться. Ну, я и не готов даже, если честно.
That's the thing about tournaments. A lot of it depends on your draw, who you're facing in your first match or your second match, and a lot of it is it's less predictable as just having one opponent. You kind of know what their style is going to be and how you're going to go against it, how you're going to face them. But in a tournament, you don't know what's going to happen, who's going to show up, who you're going to get in your first match, your second match. A lot of things can happen. So he says he's not ready.
Возможно, что-то, когда я почувствую то, что я по силе где-то рядом с ребятами, которые выиграют, возможно, но это 1%.
So he says he's 1%. I don't know what he means. Like he doesn't feel like he is, I guess, at the level of some of the stronger guys in the tournaments. I'm assuming that's what he's meaning.
Да, то есть это лотерея. В любом случае, если там трое более прям сильных спортсменов, то можно, как говорится, выпасть. Где-то там.
Как у тебя получилось на А1 с Чехией?
Ну да. Но это как бы еще хороший расклад был. То есть я занял второе место. А можно оказаться за пределами. То, что сетка все-таки больше для ребят, которые вот сейчас только начинают, прогрессируют.
So here he talks about tournaments are more for guys who are just starting out, trying to get a name for themselves, and the more established guys tend to just do super matches, which you would notice that if you look at guys like Levon. I mean, when's the last time Levon did a tournament? It was a while ago. Guys like Kurdecha. I mean, these top-level guys rarely seem to do tournaments. There's obviously some exceptions. Guys like Laletin, Salayev doing those AMC tournaments. But you think of guys like Dave Chafee, when's the last time he did a tournament? Or someone like Jerry Catterett, when's the last time he did a tournament? Or, I mean, Devin seems to do like local tournaments and stuff like that. But it's interesting because it seems like in the early days of arm wrestling, even 10 years ago, there were a lot more big tournaments where the top guys would go and they would face each other in tournaments instead of now the main format is super matches, which just kind of what the sport has shifted to, and just is what it is.
Набирают обороты, и вот они там выигрывают, такая, ну, опять же, для своей репутации, для своей дальнейшей карьеры засветиться, да? А когда ты уже, навыигрывал всего, наверное, надо успокоиться и, наверное...
So he says tournaments are just for people who are trying to get a name for themselves, get themselves out there, and then when they've won a lot of tournaments, they need to calm down, as the translation says, and do more super matches.
Раз у нас есть выбор, у нас есть армфайты, то я выберу армфайт. Сетка для меня это нет.
So that was his response as far as why he doesn't do tournaments. Then for the rest of the interview, he talks about the AMC tournament, some other things. But this was the main part where he shares his opinions on tournaments and why he doesn't do them and the importance of tournaments. Now, I want to add also that it seems like 20 years ago, it was only tournaments. There were no, super matches weren't a big thing, but now super matches are the main popularity in arm wrestling. All these new fans to the sport aren't watching for local tournaments. They aren't watching for tournaments really in general, to be honest. They're watching for super match events, stuff like East versus West, which is a collection of super matches, like over 10 super matches, but it's not an actual tournament like a double elimination or triple elimination tournament, which I really enjoy competing in tournaments because that is part of it. Like Dennis said, it is there's a lot of luck involved as far as who your matchup is going to be. But if you're very well rounded and you're explosive and you're skilled, then you can really showcase your abilities in a tournament. Just take John Brezink, for example, doing so many tournaments for decades, for absolutely decades, just dominating across America. And that is something that definitely aspire to get on that level of just domination. We're going wherever against any opponents, whoever's going to show up in the tournament and just performing. So what do you guys prefer, tournaments or super matches? Let me know in the comments what you prefer doing most. For me, I would say tournaments, unless there's a high profile super match, which is worth it for me to accept. But I love doing tournaments. For me, it's very exciting. But that's it for the video. Let me know your thoughts on this topic.